The question, if I understood and was able to hear it, was what can we possibly do to help the people of Gaza right now?
I think it's really easy to sit up here, or for any of us to just sit here and go, it's Obama's fault, Obama did it, it's Congress, maybe valid, but at the end of the day, you never said yes I can, you said yes we can. What are we doing? Right? I mean, that's why when he's asked if Dr. King would support it, he said no, Dr. King would be in the streets holding me accountable. Part of the reason the Vietnam War ended is because folks in here and others made it unlivable. They didn't just sit there and put out an email or a rant on Facebook or tweet about it. They went in the streets and made it unlivable till this war stopped. You get that kind of action in the streets, you make it known we are not going to stop. It is going to be unlivable until this war ends. Or do we just sit there and complain about it? So again, we have to go bigger. We have to do more. It starts with supporting Dave. That's what we need to do. That's my opinion. We can't be just tweeting and Facebook anymore.
Let me just add that many people in the United States are not aware that the United States is Israel's protector when it violates laws, and are not aware that the weapons being used on the people of Gaza are being shipped there free of charge from the United States. And yet, opinion in the United States is moved dramatically, including in the worst of the corporate media in the United States, has moved dramatically in the past 3 or 4 weeks from the horrendous place where it has been in past years. There has been enormous progress. It hasn't reached Congress yet, but Congress is always the last place that progress reaches. And we should not decide that we are powerless, because in September, Raytheon's stock was record high. Wall Street knew those missiles were going to hit Syria. Both political parties demanded it. The president showed videos of children suffering, and either we send those missiles or we're for those children suffering. And public pressure and the outcry from the public that members of both houses and both parties said was unprecedented. More voices and more one-sided than on anything in the history of this country that they had ever seen, stopped that. Now, huge assist from the House of Commons saying no to a prime minister, and from people like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff having heard the outrage of the past decade, and all sorts of other factors. But the idea that we can't stop things, like we stopped that bill on sanctions on Iran in February, that the idea that it can't be done is crazy. And part of that perfect storm back in September that helped on Syria was that the Congress members were at home. And they're at home now. And they can be confronted in their houses, in their offices, at their town hall meetings, and they can be confronted with the slaughter of families, with the deaths of hundreds of children, with the demolition of houses, with their occupants inside, and of the shelters they've fled to, just as they were confronted back in September with the outrage of jumping into a war in Syria. And that needs to happen. And that is one avenue, along with boycotts and divestments and sanctions and every other approach to communication and education and pressure that can be put on Israel. And it is far from where it needs to be, but it is developing and growing very, very rapidly. Yes?